Today I'm going to give a small demo on Vue.js. And about myself, I'm working as a software developer in a product-based company, and I am having around 2 years of experience in web application development. I developed web applications using technologies like React and Vue, which are front-end technologies, and Node, Express, PSQL, and MongoDB. These are like back-end technologies. So today I am going to give introduction of Vue.js. First of all, what is Vue.js? Vue.js is a front end. It is like a tool. You can say it is a tool, a framework which is used to develop the UI. UI is nothing but user interface. So it is a tool framework which is useful in developing the front end. So the UI user interface is also called as front end web application. Before explaining all these terminologies, front end, Vue.js, I'm going to give a brief note on applications, like what is web application. So there are like mainly three types of applications are available. On daily basis, we use these applications. The first category that we normally use is nothing but mobile applications. On daily, you open WhatsApp, Facebook application, or Instagram from mobile, and you surf it, you chat, and you surf in the timeline of Facebook, or you see the posts or videos that are posted in Instagram. So these are all which you are using in mobile through the app is nothing but mobile application. And in mobile application, you may see the variations like iOS application or Android application. But basically the main category is mobile application. So the next application is desktop application. Whenever you open your system and you see these icons, these are nothing but these applications, whether it is Chrome browser or Gmail or YouTube, or you open any game, all this comes under the category of desktop application. So the first one is mobile application, and the second one is this is desktop application. In desktop also we have variations like Mac and Linux and Windows. These are like subcategories of desktop applications that we have. The main category is mobile, desktop, and the last one is web application. We know that we open system and we open Chrome browser or any Safari through not only system but also mobile. In mobile also we use Chrome browser or UC browser, and we visit websites like Instagram.com or Facebook.com, or you open any website. This is basically nothing but web application. The website, whichever you open through the browser, whether it is mobile or system, when you open the browser and you visit any link or any website, then the application which is, I mean, the document which is shown, this is nothing but a web application. Right now, here you can see in this GFA, I typed Instagram.com and it opened a site, Instagram site, where it is asking for me to log in, sign up. This is nothing but the web application. And this web application, which we are opening in browser, Chrome browser or UC browser or Safari, these are the documents which are having only HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. This document, this site, whichever we open, it is nothing but it consists of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. HTML and CSS are used for like rendering the content on the screen, but this JavaScript is the program which makes the document interactive. You can say it as responsive. According to the user interaction, we can make the website interactive using this JavaScript program. So basically a website or a web application is mainly consisting of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript only. That's it. Other than this, the browser whichever you are opening, like Chrome browser, it doesn't read any type of code or any programming language. It compiles, I mean, it understands only HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. That's it. And before continuing, this is a web application, like suppose Instagram or any web application. We need this web application to be hosted on the cloud so that any user can access from internet using internet in browser, in mobile, or in laptop. They can visit to a website URL through URL, and they should need the HTML, CSS, JavaScript in their computer laptop so that they can access the website. For this purpose, all the documents like HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, this should be hosted in the cloud using a server. Previously, before explaining further, previously we used to have backend driven systems. Backend driven systems is nothing but, as I told you, we need HTML, CSS, and JavaScript for a website. This server will consist of HTML server and JavaScript. Whenever a client or a user access the website by going through the URL, this server will send, first of all, it will create HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, and it will send the documents through internet to this computer or to this mobile. So the browser will read the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, and it will render the document on the screen. That's how the client can access the website. So whenever he visits pages, suppose right now we have a website. Here I open this website, and here you can see whenever I click on any page, you can see here the page is reloading. Whenever I click on any page, any link, it opens another page, and here you can see the entire document is loading. What does it mean? From this server, we are getting the HTML, CSS, and this JavaScript files. It is generated here itself, and it is being sent to the client or user through internet. So if I visit to another page, again it is loading. So again this is creating the same HTML, I mean the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript for the second page, and it is embedding the data, and it is sending those documents through internet to the client. So every time I go to any page, the entire document is getting reloaded. So it's like a backlog, you can say, as a backlog in, or a disadvantage in backend driven systems. And there's also one problem, as I told you, these websites, web applications can be open through browsers only. The browsers only can understand HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. This server is sending HTML, CSS, and JavaScript to the client directly. But what if we are having, suppose, assume this as a mobile. If you are having a mobile application here, this mobile application architecture is different. It cannot understand HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. This architecture is different. So if you are building a server, and if you are creating HTML, CSS, and JavaScript in the server itself, and if you are sending through this internet, only the browsers can use this server. If this mobile wants to use the same application, it cannot read this HTML, CSS, or JavaScript which are sending through internet by this server. So there is a problem. Only web applications can understand this server's files. So the first main problem is it has to generate the HTML, CSS, JavaScript in the server itself, which will be a burden. Like if there multiple requests, like 1,000 requests per second or 2,000 requests per second, if the server gets, it will be a heavy load on the server. So there might be chances that it breaks. And the second disadvantage is that the files whichever are sending by the server, it cannot be understandable by the mobile applications. So there are like these two main advantages if you are using only backend driven systems. So after that, people started dividing the code, like they divided the front end and back end. So this is the new uh, system architecture which you are followed recently. Right now, everyone are following this architecture, like they're having the entire backend code and front end code separate. So here, I would like to say that what is front end first of all. So here we have a web application, whichever we are opening, this is a browser. Assume this is a browser, and here we are visiting a website like Instagram or Facebook.com. So whenever I visit that website, this the server will in the beginning itself, the server will send all the HTML, CSS and JavaScript files at a time, and everything will be loaded here. Whenever I go to any other website, other page, second page or third page, this document in the browser won't reload. It will be in the same page. Only the content in the page will be changed, because whenever I go to second page here, it will ask the server to send the data, not HTML, CSS or JavaScript. It will ask to send only JSON data like objects, and this server will send only data instead of sending HTML, CSS files. Instead of sending files, it will send only JSON data. So this JSON data will be embedded into this page. Instead of loading again, it will just change the content in the web page only, in the page itself. So the page won't load, so it will be more fast, because we are not reloading the page, we are only changing the content inside the page. And this is one thing. And even though if we go to multiple pages, the server will only send the JSON data instead of selling files, instead of generating and sending files. So there will be less burden, and even though if it gets 1000 or 2000 requests per second, you don't have to, the server don't has to send the file, so it will be very much less load. And the second advantage is that, as I told you, this mobile application doesn't understand HTML, CSS, but the data which is sending by the server, which is in JSON, it can understand, it can be received by this application, and it can be shown in the mobile application itself. So the disadvantages whatever we are having in the backend driven systems, here it can be removed, and we can overcome those two problems when we divide this front end and back end separate. So this front end is nothing but the simple template or boilerplate, we can say, which has all the pages, but it doesn't have any data inside it. While visiting the page, we can ask the server to send the data. If the server will send the data, only data, JSON format data, and it will be shown in the web application. This is how the front end and back end is divided and used in the current days. And here, for example, here you can see, here I'm visiting Instagram.com. Here when I click sign up or login, you can see the pages, the URL is being changed. The page is changing from page 1 to page 2, sign up page to login page. But here, this icon you can see, it is not reloading. It is in the same page. Only the content here it is changing. Even though you can see here, the footer which is having, here we're having this footer. Whenever I go to login, here also I'm having the same footer. It is not even changing. This Google Play Store and Apple App Store are the same icons which are at the same position. These are not being changed. Only the content which are in here is being changed. So it means that the part whichever needed to be changed, here we need it should be changed. Here this content should not be changed. So the same content will be available here. Only this content is being changed. So this makes the application also faster. It doesn't need to reload, and it doesn't need to change the entire content in the document. It has to change only this smaller portion of the document. So this is how the front end web application is more useful if you divide front end and back end separate. So as I told you all these things right now, let me come again. The Vue.js. What is Vue.js? So this Vue.js is a JavaScript framework. As I told you, the browser can understand only the HTML, CSS, and JS, JavaScript. So all the applications, front-end applications which we have to make should be made in JavaScript only. So Vue.js is a JavaScript framework. It's like a library, JavaScript library, or a tool you can say, which is useful for developing the user interface, or you can say for developing the front-end web application. So it is only useful in development mode. After developing this application, front-end application in Vue.js, what will happen is like this Vue.js, when we build the application, front-end application, it purely gives HTML, CSS, and JavaScript only at the end. No matter whatever you make the application in Vue.js or React or Angular, at the end we are going to compile, or we are going to transpile, you can say, or when we build the application, the output that we get from this Vue.js is HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Those files we will be hosting on a server, and when we hit that server, and when we go to that URL, those files that we receive into the browser is nothing but HTML, CSS, and JS. So this Vue.js, React, so the types of front-end tools or front-end web applications which are useful for developing the UI are like Vue.js, React, and Angular, and etc. We have so many other tools, or you can say frameworks. In that, Vue.js is one which is very lightweight, and here I can show you as an example. Here we have HTML file, and here we have Vue application. This is nothing but the Vue code that we are writing here. We have head tag, body tag, and script tag. In script tag, we are writing the Vue code, and we are making, in simple terms, we are making a Vue application. Here you can see const app equal to vue.create app. We are creating the app, and we are writing the entire code here. Right now, for example, I have written a small code here. After creating the Vue app, what we are doing here, we are writing app.mount. We are mounting, or we are injecting the app onto the root ID. Here in the body, you can see I have written a div tag, only one div tag, and I have given ID equal to root. So on this root element, I am mounting the entire application, Vue application, and whatever I do here in the Vue application, this Vue application entirely controls this root element. So whatever you write outside this root, it doesn't matter. Vue doesn't control it. Vue only controls, as we are mounting the entire application on root here. This application will only control this root element. So here you can see I have written the Vue application and I mounted it here. So this Vue gives several features, like it gives state management, and it gives directives, methods, and it gives like routing system can also be used in Vue, and it gives like computer properties, and we make access request, etc. request through this Vue application only. And you might ask, like in the beginning, as I told you, the browser can understand only HTML, CSS, and JS. Why we have to write the entire application front-end application in Vue.js? Why can't we write normal HTML, CSS, and normal JS files? See, when an application grows, we know that the size of the application grows, and we have to maintain a lots of files, and we have to divide the files code according to the features, according to the pages that we are having in the application. So we cannot write all the pages code, all the features code in single HTML file or single app.js file. You cannot write everything in the same file, because as the code gets larger and larger, you cannot track the features that you have to change. In future, if you want to change any feature, or if you want to update anything in a page, you cannot go into the single file, and you cannot track each and every line. So this Vue, when you use this framework Vue.js, you can have a folder structure where uh, every code is divided according to the feature and according to the pages that we have. So when it gives a good folder structure like MVC, mod view control, can have a proper control on the pages, and easily you can maintain the folder structure and the application. And one of the main important thing is that in Vue is like the building blocks of Vue is like nothing but component structure. If you want to make a Vue application, you have to make components. What is a component? A component is nothing but if you are having this is a page, and if you are having header here and footer, you know that in a application website, the header and the footer are same in every page. So whenever you want to create a page, you have to write header and footer. Do we have to want to really do we have to write header and footer for all the pages? No, because these are the same. We want to reuse the same component which we have written once in all the pages. So basically, we make a component of header, or we make a component of footer, and we reuse those components wherever it is required. Suppose if you are having a button of some styling, you can create a component of button and you can use it in every page or in any position in any part of the application. You can use the same component. So the components which you are making is can be reused in Vue.js. So the building blocks of the Vue.js is nothing but component structure. We make a component and we use it somewhere. We make a page and we use it somewhere. So all this like is nothing but component based architecture. Here you can see we have page A and page B. So two pages we are having. In two pages we have header component separate same and footer component same here. And this is component A, uh, some component A, and here we have component same A, and here we have component B, and here we have component C and D. So the only thing that is being changed here is in page A and page B is component B and is component C and D. This portion is being changed. So when we change, we make a header component, single header component, and we use it in this page, and we use the same component in this page without writing the code again. The footer also same, and component A and component A also same. Only we make component B and component C and D separate component, and we use it in page A and page B. Whenever I go to page A, this will be rendered. Whenever I go to page B from A to B, this header component, footer component won't be re-rendered again. It will be in the same position, constant. It won't change anything. This component also A also won't change anything. Only this position, the elements in this position, the tags whichever we have written in this position will get altered with this component C and D. So the header component, component A and footer component will be at that position only. It won't be changed. Only this components, component B, C and D will be re-rendered again when I go to page A and page B. That is how this makes the Vue application very faster. And why Vue.js? Vue.js is very clean and lean. It means that suppose after build, after writing the entire application in Vue.js, when you build, it gives HTML, CSS, and JS. The file size of those will be 16 KB only for production. When you build an application for production, when you want to deploy, the output files that are getting from Vue building the Vue.js application will be around 16 KB only, and this will make the application to run quickly, and it provides very high runtime and performance. And who is using Vue.js? Vue.js is right now more than 700 companies are using Vue.js. Like some of the most important companies among them are Xiaomi, Alibaba, and GitLab. And So this is about the entire Vue.js intro and the course outline. The course in this Vue.js that I'll be teaching, this will consist of the concepts of beginner and intermediate level to help you develop your own front-end application. And the course contents in this Vue.js will be like intro to Vue.js and application and component instances, view behind the scenes. So one thing I forgot to tell you that, so in Vue.js, whenever you write the code in Vue.js, whenever you run the code, the entire UI that you are writing will be compiled and it will be kept in memory. It will be kept in memory like the RAM, and that UI which is kept in memory will be synced with the real DOM in your browser. So it will be in sync every time. Whenever you change something, whenever the user interacts with the application, the web page, the view, the in the UI will be altered, and the positions wherever it has to be changed. Only those elements will be changed, those components will be changed in the real DOM. So that's how it will be completely in sync. The real DOM and the memory which is view is having, it will be in sync and it will update the components which are has to be changed. And right now this course contents will consist of view behind. So here I will be explaining how view will be working behind the scenes and the project installation and setup. And I will be explaining the concepts of interpolation, directives, and shorthands used in view, and the template syntax, data properties, and methods. One more thing is that in Vue, we write everything in the process of like classes. We consider every component as a class component, like in JS, JavaScript, and we'll be writing Vue.js in class components only. So it will be considered like how a class will consist, like it will be also consisting of data properties and methods and this watchers, computer properties, and I'll be teaching like rendering conditional content, components, list rendering, events, events like click events, change events, on change events, keyboard events, and there will be also custom events and props, styling CSS, lifecycle methods. There will be lifecycle methods like created, mounted, updated, and forms. These forms will be very interesting. These forms like handling forms and slot children, and I'll be doing a live coding of creating a to-do application. After that, I'll be teaching like Axios, making Axios request, or in other terms, it is XHR request, and view router, auth page, and protector routes. The project two that I'll be doing live coding is nothing but like fetching live news and displaying it on the screen and making pages, 2 to 3 pages, where I'll be showing you the routing concepts of Vue. And at last, we will build the Vue application and we will deploy it on some cloud platforms like or Heroku or Netlify or any website cloud service, you can say. So regarding the to-do application in this app, you will be taught to create a small application that is used to create to-dos and do the CRUD operations. And in project 2, you'll be taught to develop a live news fetch by using Access XHR request and managing the rendering page of the to display the news and stories. So for doing this course, while for practicing the Vue.js, you should need these configurations in your laptop or in your system. The first thing is that you should need high-speed internet, and you should have desktop or laptop. Mm, and the system requirements that should be high in your laptop. The configurations should be at least it should have Microsoft Windows 7 or above, or you can have like Mac or Linux operating systems is also fine. And the minimum GB that hard disk should be is like around 250 GB, and you should have a RAM of minimum 8 GB or more than 8 GB. And the CPU cores that should be having is like 4 cores. So I will be providing some reference to each topic that will drive you deeper into your aim. And I will be giving some live examples in each features that we're going to have in Vue.js for every topic. So after completion of this course, we conduct mock interviews to the participants who wants to evaluate themselves before applying for a job and to understand their knowledge gap. So the certifications will be like giving knowledge of like all the certifications available in the market and which certifications can apply and a student can apply and clear the exam. And we'll be giving like expertise to crack examination for certification. And like after the completion of course from Mindmagics, we'll be getting a certificate of achievement. And thank you for attending the demo. And if you are having any feedback or if you want to contact, you can contact with this mail info@mindmagics.com, and you can contact with these numbers in India and in USA. Thank you. That's all.